Squad, what's going on? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. So as you can tell, I'm in a car. That makes this a car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, and anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around, man, because you're in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out, right? So let's just get to it, man. This might be one of the saddest videos I've had to make, either ever or at least in a long time, man. I know that I hammered this point home to you guys over and over, just how dangerous these cars are and just how much of a target these cars are and just how much negative attention sometimes these cars bring. I say sometimes, not all the time. But this situation is just about as bad as it gets, man. This is down in New Orleans, I believe Louisiana. Young woman, 34 years old, had her daughter in the back seat, driving a Challenger Hellcat, clean car, real clean car. Challenger Hellcat, on the highway. It looks like this was broad daylight, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so literally broad daylight. On the highway, another car pulls up to her and just opens fire. Opens fire on the car, man. I don't even think that they were trying to rob her or steal the car from her. They just opened fire on the car, and sadly, it ended up taking the life of the driver, the young woman. 34 years old, like I said, she had her daughter in the back seat of a Challenger, which of course is a two-door car, a coupe. Two-door car, open fire, and to my understanding, she ends up veering off the road and crashing, because I think she passed away pretty much on the scene. Her daughter was able to call, I think the young lady's niece or the young lady's sister. The daughter in the back seat was able to call the mother's sister and get her on the line as to what happened. And long story short, the cops came and, you know, took care of the situation there. But one thing that the police are speculating was that it was just, you know, mistaken identity. Long story short, looking at the fact that she was driving a Hellcat and, you know, it looks like a blacked out Hellcat, black tint, you know what I'm saying? Black wheels, completely blacked out Challenger Hellcat on the highway, that maybe it was somebody who mistook her for someone else and just opened fire. Rarely do you see stuff like this with, you know, any other car, any other brand, manufacturer, whatever the case may be. But it's sad that it happened with a woman driving, for one, a woman, period, you know, a human being, period, but a woman specifically, a mother on top of that, a mother who had her child in the back seat, which makes it even worse. But the fact that it was in a Challenger Hellcat just kind of adds that, you know, extra level there. This further proves that our cars are not safe in any capacity, whether it's in your garage, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's parked outside your car, or whether you're on the highway minding your damn business, man, going from A to B. And that's what it looks like in this situation. They don't find that, as far as the report is concerned, what the police have found thus far, they don't see any connection between her and the people that that shot her, or why there would even be a need or want to end up shooting her, other than the fact that she was driving a really nice car on the highway, and it looks like someone just pulled up and opened fire, and she just happened to be in the Challenger Hellcat. I drive this point home to you guys over and over, just how dangerous these cars are. And in most clips, if not all the clips that I post, very rarely does the driver lose their life. You know, very rarely does the driver lose their life. Very rarely does the driver even have their life threatened. Most times it's a situation where the car is parked in the front yard and somebody just, you know, steals it, breaks in and steals it, and unbeknownst to the owner altogether, the owner knows nothing about it. The owner's nowhere to be found. The owner's in the house sleeping, or whatever the case may be, or the owner's at work or in the grocery store, or whatever the case may be, and it's just, you know, completely unbeknownst to the owner, so it doesn't bother them. That's 90% of the stuff that I post, but every now and then, 95%, every now and then there's this 2%, this 3%. I posted maybe one other video that I can think where a Jeep Trackhawk owner lost his life over his car. And unfortunately, I'm posting this one. 34 years old, mother, daughter in the back seat. They do not care. They see our cars and they shoot at them. That actually happened here a couple months ago. There was a guy driving home. It was him and his son, sadly enough. Him and his son were in, I think they were in a Camaro, you know, driving home from a basketball game, a Hornets game or whatever. And long story short, a Mustang pulls up to him, tries to race him. I don't remember whether or not, or I don't even know if whether or not the dad in the Camaro actually wanted to race the guy in the Mustang. But long story short, the dude in the Mustang pulls out a gun and just starts firing shots into the car of the Camaro, right? The Camaro, which housed not only the father, but his son in the passenger seat. And they were coming from a basketball game. Pulls up next to him, just starts shooting, and then takes off, right? No motivation whatsoever, no connection whatsoever to the person in that Mustang. They just wanted to pull up, take off, and start shooting at the person. I've said this time and time again that these cars are, as much as they are fancy and cool and loud and powerful, we love them. They draw a lot of attention, guys. Now, one thing I do want to reiterate, guys, and it's kind of hard for me to say this given the fact that, I'm bringing this much kind of negative news to you guys about these cars. Don't for 1 second let my videos or what I display in my videos or what I talk about in my videos kind of sway you against buying a Scat Pack or a Hellcat or RT or Charger and Challenger in general. At the end of the day, if you want to buy one of these cars, they're great cars, they're highly reliable cars, they're spacious, they're powerful, they're good looking, they're whole nine. They're great cars. Don't let me get it twisted. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in it. How can I sit here and make these types of videos and then drive literally the cars that we talk about every single day in these videos? And I do that because, like I said, they're reliable, they're powerful, they're big cars, they're spacious, they're good looking. I love them. But when you buy a car like this, an extra level of security and kind of sensitivity when you're driving these cars has to be taken into account. This is not a Chrysler 300. This is not a Nissan. This is not a Honda. This is not a Hyundai. This is a Dodge Charger, Challenger, Hellcat, Scat Pack, RT. And if I'm not mistaken, in the year 2021, at least in Michigan is concerned, Chargers were among the top 3 most stolen cars in the city. You know what I'm saying? Literally among the top 3 most stolen cars in the city of Detroit, Michigan, and maybe even the whole state of Michigan. I can't remember. But that's just how bad these cars are when it comes to thefts, And furthermore, it's gotten so bad to where Dodge has had to retroactively release software and security updates for their cars that absolutely do nothing, but they've had to acknowledge as a company that the thefts of these cars are so bad that, they've got to do something. They can't just keep putting these cars out and pretty much putting it on the onus on the owner, But this situation is pretty much as bad as it gets, man. When I'm driving my car, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm on 10. I've got the little mirrors, the little, I guess they call them spot mirrors. That gives me kind of that extra distance of view, what kind of broadens my view on both of my rear view mirrors. I'm constantly in my rear view mirrors. I remember when I was taking my driver's ed course, there was one particular day where it was like they wanted you to call out the number of times that you were looking at your rear view mirror or your side mirrors, and you were getting points based off of that. And I remember I was just like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? Getting crazy points for that. Just because I'm not going to say paranoid, but I'm naturally a head on the swivel kind of guy. Like when I walk into an establishment, I want to know who's there. I want to know where the exits are. I want to know, who's all here. I want to know who could do something if need be. I'm that kind of guy. So when I get in this car and I'm driving it, no matter where I'm going, to the grocery store, to hang out with the squad, to the gym, my head's on the swivel, And it's sad that it has to be that way, but it has to be that way, guys, because then you hear about reports like this, where a 34-year-old woman loses her life because she's driving a Challenger Hellcat, and they completely disregard the fact that there's a child in the back seat and the fact that it's a woman in the car, and they shoot into it. They completely disregard the fact that it's a mother and there's a daughter in the back seat, and she just happens to have a really nice car that I'm sure she worked for and she earned it the legitimate way. And as a result, she gets gunned down on the damn highway, and her daughter's in the back seat. Thank God her daughter was not harmed. But this is just about as bad as it gets right here. I know I keep hammering these types of videos in the heads of you guys, and I'm just doing this to be transparent with you and let you know what's going on. Like, I don't want you guys buying these cars and just driving them anywhere and parking them anywhere and thinking that you can just do whatever you want, whenever you want with these cars. There has to be an extra layer of sensitivity and security as it pertains to owning these types of cars. I mean, let's just be real here. Whenever I park my car, I look back at it and I hit the lock button like 5 or 6 times just to make sure, you know. And even then, there's a chance that that shit could get stolen. I mean, I've got car lock, top of the line security. I've got everything. You know, if you vibrate my car, I get a notification. If you start my car, I get a notification. If you move my car, I get a notification. I get all of that shit. Not to mention, I've got hella GPS on my car. So at any given time, I know exactly where it is to the foot. But even with that, there's still a chance that a motherfucker could break in, steal my shit, and then be in Mexico by the time I wake up if technology doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So there just has to be an extra level of security and sensitivity as it pertains to these cars. It's a really sad situation as far as what happened here down in New Orleans with this young lady, 34 years old. No one deserves that. Young mother, that's literally the title. Young mother killed in I-10 shooting with daughter in the back seat. I-10 is obviously a major highway in New Orleans. 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Broad daylight. They don't even give a shit. We're not talking about 3 o'clock in the morning. We're not talking about midnight. We're not talking about a Saturday. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, broad daylight on the Tuesday. This young lady lost her life because for reasons that we simply don't know. What I'm saying, and I'm going to put a bow on this, guys, watch your back. Protect yourself when you're driving these cars. I'm not deterring you or dissuading you one way or another against these cars. I'm simply saying just be smart when you're driving them, because there are a lot of people in this world that want what you have and they don't want to work for it. They just want to take it, you know, whether it's your car, your house, your possession, your belongings, or even your life, man. So with that being said, long story short, just protect yourself, guys. As always, it's been your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.